Attention please. This upload is only for educational purpose. No intention to infringe copyrights. Learning English with subtitles GPITRAL. GPITRAL. Definitely a must-see. Follow us.
In a new feature of this series of Sixth Sense, I've been inviting some guests on to show different and alternative ways of giving readings. My next guest doesn't rely so much on psychic ability or even mediumship, but explores the world of birth signs. Please welcome my guest, Andrea Sewell, astrologer. Now, Andrea,
Colin.
what do you need to give somebody a reading?
You need their time, date and place of birth.
Where does someone's chart come from? How do you interpret it?
The planets, it's not really the birth signs, it's the planets that I work with.
Right.
And each planet will have a certain energy and represent something. And basically what we do is we say the first minute that the child is born, they breathe in the cosmos. And from that, it's like you have your blueprint or your map that you take through life.
Now, in the film that we're about to show, we show you doing a consultation for a lady called Sandy. Now, Sandy's with us in the audience today. Hello, Sandy.
Hello, Colin.
Now, Sandy's born under the sign of Cancer. Now, is there anybody else in the audience today who's born under the sign of Cancer? Oh, there's a few. Right, OK. Now, keep your hands up just for a moment, because we're going to do a little experiment. What can you say about a typical Cancer? And if this applies to you, keep your hands up.
Sensitive, home-loving, tenacious. They like to sit on the sofa with a tub of ice cream and a video when they're feeling extremely upset and lonely. Family, incredibly important. They will defend their family to the death, even if they think they're wrong.
Our Cancers in the audience seem to fit the typical profile, don't they?
Good.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes,
You can put your hands down. Let's take a look and see how the reading went for Sandy.
Hi, I'm Sandy and I live in Brentford, which is in Middlesex. I have 2 grown-up sons and an absolutely beautiful grandson. I've never actually met an astrologer before, but I'm one of these people that tends to look at my stars in the paper in the morning or a magazine and believe what I want to believe. I just thought it'd be a good idea to actually meet Andrea and see what happens. When I got to Andrea's house, it wasn't at all what I expected. I think I expected to see a lot of mystical paraphernalia and charts and predictions and things, but she was just sitting there with her computer. Quite ordinary. It's a bit like being in an office.
Hi, Sandy. Thank you very much for coming to see me. I've got your details, your time, date, place and birth, and I've put them into the computer. So shall we have a look at it now? If we look at this here, you're a Cancer, so I know that you've got the sun in Cancer. But in fact, you're not really very Cancerian on lots of levels.
No, that's true.
No, you're not at all, because in fact you're an incredibly independent woman, and really, I'm not saying family is not important to you, I think it's very important, but actually you don't do what everyone would think in a family. You're not like a traditional mum in any way.
I think I was quite taken aback because I always thought I was. I'm sort of the warm, home-loving type, likes the family around me, doesn't like to stray too far. But she said I wasn't actually a typical Cancerian because I like a little bit more independence, which I suppose once I thought about it, she's quite right.
If I look at this chart here, it's interesting because for you to find yourself and what you should do has taken you a long, long time. You often feel very lost about yourself. It's almost like you don't have an ego. And your big thing is that you need to develop an ego. So you often don't put yourself first and you put everybody else before yourself. I
think it's all to do with confidence. I've lost a lot of confidence over the years. I'm not really 100% sure why. I've just got to learn to, as I said before, to get out there and learn to mix rather than sit indoors and wait for something to come to me. Nobody's going to knock on my door, so I have to make the effort. I suppose being a Cancerian, we like to feel secure.
You like to feel secure, as long as you don't. I have a funny feeling that sometimes when you feel secure, you sort of destroy it again. Because you need excitement.
You're exactly right, actually. That's quite embarrassing, but yes, I do.
Yeah. So, are you sure you want the security? So looking at this chart, the sort of man you would go for anyway is quite a difficult man. I mean, you know, somebody who is quite difficult or very eccentric or, you know, isn't around all the time.
I've done difficult, I've done eccentric.
And you haven't, have you done isn't all around all the time as well? So that is you. I mean, that is what you attract.
I've been out with eccentric men, I've been out with difficult men. As I said to her, I'm wondering what's next. I haven't been out with anyone for quite some time now. And I suppose the longer you leave it, the more difficult it is. I lose a lot of confidence the longer I leave it. But as I said before, I have got to make the effort to go out and meet people, because they're not going to come and knock on my door and ask me out. I've got to go out there and mix and see what happens.
Now, the other thing that comes up is children in this, and your ability to be able to relate to your children. And it's not good at the moment. You just can't, that you just can't get hold of at all. There's almost a complete lack of understanding on some level.
With one of my children, yes.
Yeah. And they are off in their own world doing whatever they're doing. And I think that's how you probably perceive it. And do you feel like you've lost them?
Yes. I can't get close enough. And that does.
But I think you're trying to get too close.
Andrea picked up on the problems that I'm having with my youngest son at the moment. And I think one piece of advice she gave me was actually to pull back a little bit. Just let him get on with his life and try not to intrude. I always thought I was doing that, but maybe I'm not.
Your chart's very good for learning, for wanting to sort of get more knowledge. For somebody who can be very inspired and very gutsy and get up and do things.
Well, I'm reading quite a lot about healing and spiritual things at the moment.
Well then if that's where you want to go, you can start, you know, you can start reading it and maybe meeting some people doing something about it.
I have been thinking of possibly finding out a little bit more information about healing, something I'm very, very interested in. And I'm interested in psychic matters as well. So it's something I'm definitely going to think about, and I'm going to do something about it.
So, Sandy, we've looked at this reading and it looks like the main thing for you to do is concentrate on yourself rather than your son.
I will, I'm definitely going to do that. You've been very helpful, actually, thank you.
Okay. All right, Sandy, thank you very much
Thank you very much. I think Andrea was quite accurate in the way she summed me up. One half of me is independent and the other half isn't as independent as I would like to be. I do like my security around me. She was very spot on with that, and I love to have my family around me, and that's more important to me than anything.
So Sandy, do you find it a positive experience having these things highlighted for you?
Yes, because you don't realise until somebody actually tells you what you're like. I just didn't realise I was like that. But the more I think about it since I've seen Andrea, you know, I'm realising how accurate she was.
Good. Excellent. Now, Andrea, I gave you my birth details earlier on, so what can you tell me about me?
You like a lot of excitement.
Yeah, okay.
We have a person. I quite like this chart. I mean, we know. Can I say what you are? You're
yes,
a Taurus.
I don't mind.
Colin's a Taurus with the moon in Scorpio, and I love that combination. It's very passionate and deep. You have a temper, which I don't think anyone here would see, but you never hold it against anyone. It's wonderful. You'll explode and then you'll wash off and you'll forget about it.
Yeah, that's true.
You are actually incredibly secretive about your own feelings, and you have a complete guard up there, which I don't, you know, I think with what you do it's absolutely essential.
Mm-hmm. I would say that that's a pretty accurate description of me, actually.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, I'm pleased with that. Thank you.
Good.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please thank my guest today, astrologer Andrea Saul. My name's Colin Fry. Please join me again soon. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
I believe Colin more now.
I thought all this was a fix.
Yeah, there's, I mean, there's definitely, you know, nothing fixed about this. It's unbelievable, really.